Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today it's time to preview the game tomorrow against Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup semi-final. We've been waiting an eternity for this game to actually come round. You know, it feels like years ago when we beat St Johnstone in the quarter-finals of the competition, but it's finally arrived. The chance for a quadruple treble is on. Quickly before we get into the video, a big shout out to the channel sponsors, OneFootball, of course, a new thing on the channel for us all. If you didn't see yesterday's video, then very quickly, you know what the score is. If you don't know what OneFootball is, make sure to check it out via the top link in the description. You can download it through there. It's the best app on the App Store for iPhone, Android, or whatever device you use in terms of following football and following scores, transfer news, everything else in between. If you want to keep an eye on stats, it's got pretty much everything. It's a really good app, and you know what? You can help myself out and OneFootball out by using the link in the top line of the description. On screen you're seeing a wee example of everything it shows. It's perfect, it's outstanding. I've already been through it yesterday. You know exactly what you're going to see when you download it, so head over there and get that now. You know, so the whole Hampden thing doesn't really worry me. You know, we're not playing at Celtic Park, but we're playing in a stadium which we've basically made our own and made ourselves the owners of over the past few years, so that's good. Of course, the big change is there isn't going to be that 20-odd thousand Celtic fans there cheering the team on. But let's get one thing straight. This game is a must-win for Neil Lennon. Picture this. Come Monday morning, Neil Lennon has gone 5 games without a Celtic win. He is out of the Scottish Cup and lost the chance of a quadruple treble. We could be potentially 9 points behind Rangers in the league. It is pretty much disastrous viewing if we don't beat Aberdeen this weekend. It is a massive game, and we've seen how much they tested us last week, the 3-0 draw at Pittodrie. It's not going to be easy. I've spoke highly of this Aberdeen side and how they have changed and how they have been a technically better side this season under Derek McInnes. The introduction of new players to the squad have made them a different animal, I believe, and a team which is good enough to go and make third place their own this season if they keep their consistency. Celtic will struggle at Hampden. There's no doubt about that in my mind. We need to channel everything we did on Thursday night. Let's talk about that. Very quickly, if you're wondering why I'm recording in the Talk Scottish Football areas, because outside we seem to be getting Hurricane Ballbag 3.0. 3.0, that's generous. The wind is battered against my room's window, and the audio will pick it up most definitely. So I've decided to record in here today to avoid any sort of noises interrupting the video. So that explains it. Thursday night we were superb. In the first half anyway. You know, we made that game look easier than it should have been. Granted, a lot of people will give you that Lille didn't start their best team, but still, you're going up against a side who are joint top of Ligue 1 in France, one of the top 5 leagues in the world, and you play like that in the first half. It's really encouraging, and it's filled me with a lot more confidence for this game than what I had prior to that. You know, if we went into the Lille game and we got battered on Thursday night, I would have went into this game against Aberdeen with little to no hope whatsoever that we would make it through to the Scottish Cup final. But it was a really encouraging performance. We've seen players like Christie, Laxalt, Christopher Ayer all play particularly well. I thought Ayeti was good. El Yunusi obviously with a brace in the first half. It was a game full of positives in the first 45 minutes. The second 45, of course, we let ourselves come under the pressure of Lille. They made changes. We took our foot off the gas. We've seen players like Ayer who were having a good game having to leave the park through injury. It was a really difficult second half for us, but nonetheless, I still feel a lot more confident heading into this Scottish Cup final with the way we performed in that game than what I would have, if that game never happened. If we went into this game without that first half performance, then I would be expecting Aberdeen to end up doing what they done to us last week. Last week we got a lot of things wrong, mostly defensive errors, and that has been the story of our season, and I don't know when the day is going to come we cut that out. Shane Duffy for me has to be dropped from this starting 11. That's just the reality of it all. I don't know if Christopher Ayer is going to be fit for the game at the weekend. Of course, he was took off on Thursday night, but this isn't the game to give away defensive errors. If we want to make it through to the Scottish Cup final against a side who scored 3 against us last week, granted 2 being penalties, we can't allow the same mistakes to occur again and again, and we can't allow for stupidness that gives away penalties like that, because the penalties we gave away last week were ridiculous. You should be never giving them away in a game of football the way we did. Olivier Ncham's tackle was amateur. It was something you expect to see in the schoolyard, and then the second penalty we give away as well is just poor, and the referee does, yes, play an advantage, but we got what we deserved, and they scored the penalty, and we leave the game with a point. Now, it could have been a lot worse lost. We could have lost the game with the position we were in, but it was a really poor game, and the whole game just did seem amateur from start to finish defensively for Celtic. Moving forward, there was a lot of positives, and I think there has been a lot of positives all season moving forward. You have Griffiths scoring a good goal against Aberdeen, you have Ellinus scoring a brace during the week, you've got Edouard now back in the squad, Yetis hold-up play was brilliant on Thursday. There's a lot of positives to talk about with Celtic moving up the park. But if we can sort it out defensively, it's just going to cancel everything out. So this weekend, that's the main thing. We need to sort that out. Defensive errors will chuck us out of Hampden with a sad face. And when I say us, I mean the team, because sadly we'll all be watching it for house. On to the opposition, of course. Aberdeen had a break during the week, unlike us, who had to travel to France, so I'm sure they'll be taking that with as much excitement as possible. It's a big advantage for them that they've had a full week to rest and train. Meanwhile, we've been travelling overseas and all the rest of it. But look, we've touched on everything I need to with Aberdeen, not only in this video, but last week in the match preview. Everything I've had to say it's been said. It's a very impressive looking Aberdeen side. And you looked at it last week, they were bringing players off the bench, which now just shows you how much a better squad Aberdeen are. You've got Cosgrove coming off the bench for a start after already being impressive looking up top. It just says a lot about the Aberdeen side, and Derek McInnes has done a fantastic job to rally the troops round and turn around what was a position he found himself towards the end of last season and even the first game of this season, where so many fans wanted them out and so many fans wanted them to leave the club and erase the kind of 7-8 years of development he's done there. So fair play to him. It's been a really good job, and Aberdeen, of course, will now want to take this as a chance to get revenge on Celtic for all these years of hurting them in these cup competitions at Hampden. He'll be looking at Neil Lennon and be looking at what are you doing, pal?
You're in a video, yeah?
I'm doing a video, aye.
You never do your videos through here.
I know, but the wind's better against my windy.
You could have fucking said.
Go and say hello. What's your prediction, pal?
For what game?
Aberdeen.
2-0 sheep.
Get off my channel.
And free.
Clown. He'll be looking at this Lennons side and looking at the position Celtic find themselves in with results and performances recently, and seeing that kind of gap there to go and do something. And perhaps get themselves into a Scottish Cup final. And they know Rangers is out of the competition. They know the toughest sides could be gone. If they've eliminated Celtic and Rangers are gone, then a final against Hibs or Hearts, big chance for them to win the Scottish Cup. So it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to see what they bring to the table again. Will it be as enthralling as a 3-3 at Pittodrie last week? I don't think so. I think we're going to see a closer game. I have confidence for the boys. Let's move on to the team and score predictions. Right then, team prediction. I think that we're going to see once again a very similar lineup to what we've seen in the last two games, both at Pittodrie and in France on Thursday night. Will Rogic come back into the squad now after being rested on Thursday? I mean, he did come on into the game, of course, as his time went on. I do think we'll see him come in. I have a feeling that Rogic will start. I think Cham might drop to the bench, and we'll have Rogic playing at that kind of number 10 role, and then McGregor and Scott Brown in behind. Yes, Brown will start, I think, at Hampden. I don't see why Lennon would drop him at Hampden, and of course, I echo what the fans are saying. Maybe he should be, but it's not going to happen. Let's just deal with that reality. Apart from that, I think the team will stay the exact same as what we see on Thursday. I think Rogic will come in and we'll see the exact same. I think Bain will keep his place in goals. The biggest question, of course, coming at Christopher Ajer. Will he or will he not start the game? If he doesn't start the game, then I think Neil Beaton will come in and take his place. Beaton and Duffy, a partnership at the back in the Scottish Cup semi-finals. Would you trust it? That's the question there. If it was up to me, I would want Beaton and Ajer starting the game on tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, whatever time it is. I can't even remember now. But I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll be Duffy, and if Ajer's fit, Ajer. If Ajer's not fit, Beaton. A lot of people saying Stephen Welsh should come back into the squad. Perhaps I'd probably start him over Duffy at this point, so we'll wait and see. But I think we're going to see an identical squad to the last couple of games, a wee mixture of what we've seen, and I do think Rogic will come back in. As for the score predictions, will Celtic make it to another cup final, and will Celtic make it one step closer to the quadruple treble? My answer is yes. The fire that we've seen on Thursday night at the start of that game, in the first 45-50 minutes of the game, I think we'll stretch into the game here at the weekend. I think that they'll take that in and they'll realise how much this means for not just Neil Lennon but for the club and for the fans. And yes, you could say, well, we tried to make that clear how much things meant to us against Rangers when the Green Brigade were up putting banners at Lennoxtown, and then what happened. Now they've got to get a grip of themselves. They've got to grab themselves by the hormones and go, right, this is it. They've got to go through this cup final. And all the weeks of torment now, somehow, it's not going to end. Look, if Lennon loses this game tomorrow, I will firmly be on the Lennon out bandwagon. I've been 50-50 this whole time. If we lose tomorrow, I probably will be on it. But Listen, it's must win. It's must win. We've got to. This has been our competition. This has been our country for the last few years now. And let's keep it like that. Last few years, last decade. Let's get it right, Ryan. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. An interesting game, to say the least. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm sure you'll be looking forward to the 3 things we've learned video afterwards, whether it be happy or sad. We'll soon see. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Check out OneFootball as well in the top line of the description. And I'll see you all next time.